As we talk about and as we consider some social movements that we've seen, I think some companies would like to see themselves as being on the higher end of that. Me Too, Black Lives Matter. These are social movements by most folks' accounts. Can we also view them through an economic lens? So is there a way to look at this from a market response as rejecting a system, or is it not an economic lens that we could view it through? Is it clearly a social movement and we can't look at it as a market force or created by market forces?
Well, I think for any smart business, for even the most strident capitalist, you cannot operate your business outside of society. And you have to think about how you maximize profit with a consumer base. And it's really important to understand in a lot of markets, when we talk about access and we talk about diversity and inclusion, we're typically thinking about the firm acting on individuals, the firm acting on labor, for example, the firm acting in the financial market. Firms are also disciplined by consumers and their preferences for what they want. And we know that firms fail when they fail to give their consumers what they expect, right? Or they're disrupted by other innovators who come into their businesses and bring about more efficient processes, lower prices, et cetera. In our models, in the most abstract models of consumer behavior, discriminating consumers can actually drive the decisions of a firm and inform the preferences of a firm. So if you have consumers who have a preference for soliciting their business from organizations that signal a particular type of moral value, social value, that in fact can allow those companies to actually price discriminate to a certain extent and remain in business, right? There isn't a natural sort of process, even in a very simple sort of Becker model that does that away, that bids that away, the same way that you would predict, say, with labor market discrimination against groups, which depresses the wages of particular types of employees. Another firm takes those employees who are more productive than their wage, and eventually the unprofitable firm goes out of business. With consumer discrimination, that doesn't happen. But now we have to add on the layer of what we exist right now in the United States, which is a racially unequal society. So if all of your consumers are wealthy and white and demand discrimination, that would be a sustaining equilibrium outcome that would not be overcome by any market force.